Assalamualaikum. Auzubillahi minasyaitanirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Auzubillahi minasyaitanirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We are sorry. There was a typo error in what I was writing, and that's why we deleted that older video. And now I'm starting with. I'm continuing here with a new video. I think right now my my typing is correct and my spellings also is correct. We were supposed to write gynecologist and then we gynecologist, and now we write geologist. A geologist is a science something to do with scientists. So a geologist is someone who is who has sexual.
California joins us now from London.
Who has like a sexual problem or something like that. This program, we have name and a surname and somebody we don't know the name who are living in Gambia. First, we will talk about these gynecologists who are raping, sleeping with our girls who have problem with their private part. Our pregnant women who went to them for medical advice or medical treatment. So these news and problems we have here today to talk to you people. I thank all those who rectify my spellings there, and all those who this is how we have to do it, and to rectify each other. Mbali Gambianol nga programo nyun kontinu nata do yela kotenke because nga spelling mistake kenu, so mo nata fonyo ko spelling mistake golom. So because namin sefeje geologist almost fendole fananti science lom is around science area. But gynecologist or la mini alon ko wala ka musol makoy ni problem soto ni la musiala l'hôpital to nga to soto le mi alon ko doctor olom ataka nyinke musol la aka anina musol ke la nyoya wol iman la fala ake nene ka fo ko nyanta ka boro da kolengo sang ka fo le kalbe bori da kolengo le sanna ibuka bori da kolengo sango soto no ake la nomba ta ye call ani e ben dulato ay lanyo ya afo nga boro dila ya half price anima jofang ye lanyo ya ye abuse wol mang imang amaka ko nyanta ka kala de bari imang fen ko soto e ka fa nyaadile no way to way malong man ngol ka fa nyaadi man sila soto ha mbe wala folo ka chala nimbota woto pedophile lebe gambe mi yalon ko tubabu pedophile anin gambe dingol fongo pedophile andu nyunumo ke ballati man ke dindingol ti ke ballom e kan dindingol ta ibe tinyanna ibe lanyo yala bo fanan kachala jang momo yalon ko nyin gynecology sol imu la victimoti andum ilafta diamula moye priye expose bari man hani imalo iba fola dami nga report also to report jamal ite fanan ise call kinole hani me tofon tol fanan te tofola nomba be je seferin janne mba pin lale isa call ke ifana ya explain ini nyuni encounter min soto nyuni mi yalon ko wollom na gynecology solti min yalon ko kan na musolta ike lanyo ya dolam ke mal fon be tubabu janne ila musoltu Gambia ila musol sasata inata nyi muso sasa soto itata nyi kendingol ya nyi kendingol nata ye mantora ini ye lanyo ya ko koleyata bake Gambian kol kambi wala tinan ko bi nsana nga programo kachajang nga nyo kono to di yadron pour sa mo krungol expose demanding luwolu manke politikoti nga active nta manke activist de ala kala tonya bari nga activist jamala jejebe wurle be poli lebe sawna jana about political la ebe politique kelo kala ebe political kala andu nyimu kuleti mi yalon ko ayen na solo lom yajele Gambia ntol Gambia non mini be Gambia nal mal daji ko falin hanale inata fenkele fiale na mansa musale na fena Gambia titano nyato munekata Gambia no nga jawyale soto na sondomo kono Gambian jama jawyata nyofe mambeti ya nyofe ilafta lon ko gambe no jawyatale gambe no man la fi nyola ilafta lon ko gambe no man nyo kanu dum moto kono doron yetara trafic kono hani keso pour ye kof ye bangi ke bangle ye silo bare itoltita itetita silo beba bare la wala muno wodi jawya damala wodi hani moto silo kan nka nyo jawyaaje mbe nyo nenna mbe nyo tokumanda mbe nyo banenna mbe nyo tokumanda mbe nyo tinyanla mbe tumaro kala mbe tumalo la nyo ka be menati jawya nimma nyo jawya bula nyimmo fami mbe kering atabannano hani mansa keji man natana nyimmo fami mbe kering Gambia atabannano nimma nyo kanu kata moli ya ke robi la sokono ata stop la no hani nga military le kenna silokan ata stop la no jang tolla Sweden jang comme une tebe steering site min to jang yemine tampo je yembu Sweden o series ni ba flele e ka tampo bale ke je ko alnyo collectif lom alnyo makala kal fansum police olti na nyaami je mi yalon ka mal nyaafa ale police call albina naltol ma solve no ale police call police bina la le so yuba dula bel to Sweden e ka fo grand male ka fa nyaali le fa nka male ba fly nyaali le ni English la ntol Sweden jang nga wala soto nka ñoo look after le we watch behind each other so ikaje ko wala na crime ni hala siyata ba siyata dulal to mi yalan ko crime dulalon jeti but coming to lañi bere ma fo wala ata siyala jam because nga ñole ma koy ban tol Gambia jawyale siyata je man la fi ñola man ñoo kanu nko hani trafic ko kam fay kaje la ko tonya Gambia no jawyata le na police beba jawyarin silo kan asakantuma police muso Gambia police muso nyang police jawo man soto dunia kon Gambia police muso malo mune be i jusol kono ma fe bede nin ko e be nga fani ya fole kende ma dol be konon bar Gambia police muso hadumo yatinna kodo yatinna hadumo yatinna i jawyata i nyammo jawo man soto dunia kono i bukala fika mo understand i bukala fi niye moy diam niye problem din ke psilo kando yela kayto bale bondite bale ta sit la dote nya be kasil ibe diam ke fete dankula ite dankula ya be ke kulubaliyati o be Gambia because of munum jawya sako ye to fo ye ni konton itol man la fite itela konton ni tola ifonyo itol man la fite la don jawya so nying fo Gambia fo ngam fo falin folo mba fala al ngama sakunda falin tonya man sakunda min bija manke man sakunda ken ta nyanta ka falin bal tol fana fo ngan daji kul fana falin folo ntol Gambia no fo ngan daji ko fana falin folo janni bitala woto mbe nyim video play lam be laban na nyim video lay kela programme la laban lulati gynecologist sol janni ni be mbe tol fo la jang ni be kacha kela jang Swiss boy I'm fine how are you doing ni be kacha kela jang gynecologist mbe to fo la de na ku yata ila family bi janne dol bi ne terol lom al se call ni lafte se fangol defend number fele nga pin isa call ke ya fo nya boy loy wax ni du dega te man amna jigen yu bari yu ma call di ma ko wax te nekut man rek lañ call amna yo xamne mo jamale bi je mini fanan call mini anan koy ka live ke yol fanan call le ye la problem explain wole bari nta fanan yenta fanan call le ya fonte amanka kilinta amanka flata amanka sabati ngo nyin mbe diamula la le ando nyin doctorol mbe to folale nga do tolo nana konton nga do konton da malelo nga do lon ko abe bakawle ntol fonga la bakaw anda be sumin kono nga wo fana lon mbe wo fana folale ala medical office abe sumin kono bakaw mbe wo fana folale maybe bakaw kol balon nale maybe bakaw musol dolbe tarajila ya keminila fonga nyin stop mba stop la nyaadile yela do ko ke ni mi la do ko no ye fata wande musol la nyimmin ya kol ke mi yan kol bi o mo wande musolti akema be tubabu du janne kema be tubabu dule ya ke wande musol la de akema be tubabu du janne imira so ko mini yalon ko dindingol lom e kay musiya problème so to eta nyuniya pour que makoy docteur o nyanta ka professional so to yela profession ya respect ila kado kamin dila ya protect ya protect nima woke nin kol ketam bine expose lale andu nakuyate ise kolke nin man tonya fo ngalon ko man tonya fo ite la side of the story explain but ntole story means to mbole explain la ya fo live ti jamale because mi ko la ka fo mo jamale balan sa maje mo mi ya programme okay but ntol ba programme ko open programme lo momo yalon ka ketela you are a victim. Please, you can call ntol bela identity nta fala moye. Niye call ke nte son la fa ye tofo. bari sa ko tonya nyin keten telale nta e kanyi min to fo nta ta kariyale ay nun tonya lo ma nyinni neke wala tonya nta e kamin fa man ke tonyanti nsa debate mota nyu monen na jang mota mo nyaawal la jang mota jelela mo la jang so bi nata kanyim programme fe ale nan pedophile nak e ko pedophile dole muta Gambia last year ye pedophile dole muta no Gambia nyim pedophile nyin kabri ya muta Norwegian wolom aka dindi jamale la nyoya aka ay dindi jamale tinya bari fongol nya video jamale jam Facebook thank you Juf ñoko bay nya Facebook nya fenk jamale jam Facebook video jamale jam Facebook Senegambia boy sol ka tubabu dindingol tay wafatu tubabul bulu ika foko pedophile lo wobuti police kana ko boy sol fongo muta ika tubabu bulay tala hajola sina mina video mo la mi ko journalist olom journalist olom nyin tubabu nyinti Angleterre journalist olom ablata nyin kuonoma ay min fo nyin ko mi yen jakali ako nyin pedophile o nyin Norwegian mi ko Norway abato wolton to laskana nevi da abato janados Norway jam ako nyin ya mon sakunda ya mutale ya kitindi ya sorong and ya sorong criminal ya wala munti pedophile olom ay na dinni ngol tinya ako barate fo min nata jakali ntolla man sakunda min keta na president oti Adama Barrow wala nata nyin pedophile ota aya pardon pedophile ebe o pardon la pour mo mim wandi dingol tinyang ame compensate fan follow ya sorong ame compensate fenna ya pardon pour dalil mol bi je min ya ko political prison la mol nyinate la je imol pardon mol ya ko mi ya ko ye mistake gol kete bul mol fatable mistake mol fatable imol pardon pedophile mi ya ko betula mo falla everyday ay nyindi dingol mini tinyang wol fatale fa banta because wodimo ba mimbo wala woneta jaral no bar jini pedophile diamo obekela last le timbe laban na wala but nying gynecologist minikan na muso rape because imaki la consento imang la fala bari iman choice soto wala ne kalbula alni ke la mbal to folale na mini tolong mbal kontong folale ngamini kontong long mbal alla suo folale ngamin la suo long ko nyulle kake mbawole folale ngalla mo nying Dr. Ola Follow.
Joins us now from London via Skype. Graham, just reading that story sends, chills, and it's a very, very sad story. Take us through how, just looking at the title, the Gambia has become a pedo paradise. Take us through that.
Iko Gambia is a breast pedo paradise. Pedophile paradise wolon Gambiati untol to nata ya ke paradise de sex tourism paradise chagol paradise nemine everything tol Gambia fe wo fem jawyata don paradise say ko pedophile paradise wolon bar ñing mbinañi diamnal after
title and how you came upon the story and the expose that has come through.
Well, I was actually in the Gambia covering a different story, but whilst I was there, it became very apparent, and you would see it all the time, that there were a lot of older Western men who were caring for young Gambian children. And that was obvious because of, it's very clear from how they look, but it's almost definitely the biological father. So this caught my attention, and the more we looked into the story, the more it became apparent that the Gambia has a serious child abuse problem and a serious problem with tourists travelling there with the specific intention of abusing children. And so that became the story that I ended up covering. And it's a story that's I'm pleased to say, it's had a huge reaction, and people all around the world have been very concerned about this and have wanted to do what they can to help. I've had lots of people emailing me and contacting me through social media, asking what they can do to improve the situation there. And unfortunately, I don't have a very clear idea of what to tell them, because it's a very complex problem. The Gambia is a very poor country, and so I don't think there's any easy solutions to how you improve things down there and how you protect these children. There don't seem to be many charities, at least there's not many international charities that are actively involved in helping children in the Gambia. And the people who are trying to help, often individuals from the West, And sadly, a lot of his help is laced with menace. It's laced with sour apples. And people are going to the Gambia posing as good Samaritans when their intentions are to abuse young children.
Now, Graham, what happens afterwards once the children have been sold to these pedophiles? What happens? How long are they there for? Maybe a couple of weeks, as it says that your story says they're tourists. And then what happens when they leave? Are the children sent back to their families? Do they take the children with them? What's the situation there?
Well, I mean, I can tell you with absolute certainty that the people who are travelling to the Gambia to commit these crimes are not facing justice, in that they're not being arrested, they're not being prosecuted. And that's an absolute fact, because, I mean, if you go through the case histories, there are very, very few cases where these people ever see a courtroom or the inside of a police cell. The one case I could find was a Norwegian man who was already a convicted sex offender in Norway. He travelled to the Gambia, he wormed his way into a family there, used a large number of children, was arrested, was put in jail, but then he was pardoned by the president for reasons that have never been explained. And I mean, that is shocking and it's outrageous, and that is something that needs to change. I mean, they now do have the laws in the Gambia to prevent this kind of thing, but for some reason they're not forcing them. And that is one very clear and obvious way the government could take action. It's just to make use of the laws they've already created. But for some reason, they're not doing that.
In terms of reaction from the government, has there been any reaction? And, has there been any explanation as to why they're not using or enforcing their laws?
The only reaction I've had is from the tourism board, who have described my article as malicious. And that was upsetting to me, because there was nothing malicious about my article. My article was born out of concern for children and out of a wish to raise awareness for what is happening there, and out of concern with a situation that I witnessed with my own eyes. Now, I haven't been able to. I haven't arrested any. I haven't conducted a citizen's arrest on any paedophiles. And that's beyond the limits of my capabilities, really. But what I did see was how easy it is for Western tourists to gain access to tiny Gambian children. I mean, in my country, if you approached a family and said, "Can I spend a day or a week with your child?" they would say no, unless they knew you really well. But it seems like in the Gambia, because of the economic situation there, people can turn up, complete strangers, and spend time alone with young children. And that, for me, was hugely concerning. And I imagine in the Gambia, there's probably a temptation to try and cover this up because it makes the country look bad. But I think if that happened, that'd be really, really sad, because this is something they need to come to terms with, and they need to address it. And they need to do it sooner rather than later, before more children are harmed. I mean, you can never protect all children. Child abuse goes on in every country all the time. It happens in my country, it happens in your country. But if you're not prosecuting, if you're not even trying to prosecute people who are doing it, and you're not taking a very proactive and public stance against this, and if there's any temptation to try and cover it up, that's wrong. And the people in power have to realise it's wrong and go after the people who are trying to harm your children, your own country's children. That's what any good government would do.
But now, just looking at the fact that this is now British men who are allegedly committing these crimes, has there been any response or reaction from the...
I cooking for young when sad back in ako I ate afang watata Gambiale. I nyim programo sa I nyim problem or report tourism yale, but tourism ma danko because tourism ye nyafa out lalale. Ima danko ko itolman la ko mo tonyality. Imam fa mi investigate ibolo na nyali ko tonyalo moy report na tuba bolo nyimbi journalist wala nyinti nyenom garamiti gafa nyene garomi Clifford atomo woleti abe England le journalist balo nyinti niye problemo na fe ya akoy ko nyinnom problemo min balla banko kan teka investigate le ite tourism board hamad ba nala mol iko hani tonyante woti o mantra tonya fo kan bari nsa mansakunda blame nya tonya mansakunda nyanta ka step tale ike nyunu solong. Thank you Tiger Java. Mansakunda nyanta ka tonyalo mansakunda nyanta ka step ta kanyumul solong ke muta ke solong omu tonyala tide nsa mansakunda blame nya mbe diningol bal ni falle blame la wara diningol mi yalan ko be balle bulu nyanta ko le blame de mansakunda sa blame o ta nya tolba blame kilineta la mansakunda de mina ne manyinu prosecute even though there is law for them to be prosecuted. There is law. But mansakunda man troke ka mansakunda la doku balayality. Bari blame be murunta mun tole na minin tafal diningol bamal ya ani famal ya blame nyanta kata wolto ite tubabu ni la sokono tibabu ke kensango imam musuja bulu tubabu dol fo nyim pedophile jama muso katare bulle ni muso be kanala andu muso kal no kon ke mam pedophile olti ike ke mal makoy ka diningol nyiniye ngo fi mo jene malon american dole ka fay Jeff Epstein ya fa Donald oka muso dindingol wafi Donald Trump yale aka dindingol wafi hani Bill Clinton yale aka dindingol wafi sunkuto dindingol ko fole tantinde aka dindingol hani Prince Harry Jeff Epstein aka dindingol tala ke wafi bar Jeff Epstein afanka dindingol maltreat la ke sexual abuse baro o fongo anala muso anemi furuda muso la kata dindingol nyinae prana abuse ibe dindingol nyina abuse atene muso be so amaka ko ke kensan wala kana ke kensan franka ken bar muso fa dol bije pedophile dol muso ka tare bulle la fa gammeno lo understand tubabo le ne tele sokono ye just 2 pounds dealer 2 pounds o man ke fenti Angleterre ikoy ko lafte ngedingo likely mba adoplale ablang isaje ngate dingolong nga abla neste hotel oto yeni dingo place idingol be steering hotel oto mbani ngambe no tonyalon fuaro loiti tonyalo ibuka ko do soto bari motina koy ko tubabo koy ko wara Gambia iko Gambia kel fankakel Gambia kel biji kel be Gambia minimum pedophile oti minika dindingon andu ka ke dinding kelale ikake dinding musola Gambian to la ko bala fa wartalde nyim isa government blame nyaawnya bari nga bal nim fal fanam mo blame tality so wol fanam blame ite dingo moyna ko dingo dina 3 weeks idingo ni mobe steering hotel to ke ite dingo ba among hani 6 years fongosi maybe 6 years 7 years about 10 years 12 years ngedingo likely ite mam momi long ite mam momi long abodan tubabu dula drong tubabo lom drong akoytol drong ay 2 pounds dila drong yay dingo ta yadi yala akoy mbato ni dingo ta nga stay hotel oto ni dingo likely mba adoplan mba la school fees jolal mbe domoro dilal lal baro o kamin boy dingo bala aka fongo muna fang idingo la minna wala siyata o mani bototi wala siyata o 2 pounds ti wala siyata ka tambi hotel oti ka stay hotel oto so sama sakunda blame nyawnya ko e mela lodula fa kanyin crime ta ka ke big crime ti kamol sorongala parce que ko no riwije no soronne adama baro ya pardon president ya pardon aya pardon dalol mina ka te fongo malon president ya pardon minna akwat we at upset le why president obe pardon la because we dinding jama le kala suokono ake abuse sexually ake abuse nyin Norwegian because nyin Norwegian nin sate do lon feta sonna dunje because of why ya soron pedophilia in Norway inene ya soron pedophilia in Norway sanya komba ngata pedophile paradise wolon Gambieti hani en soron je mansakunda bambalala mansakunda fele ya pardon ya bula abe society kono abe continue la pedophile buka kendia pedophile wonene man kendia pedophile buka kendia ika therapy sotole fengol be soto bada abuka kendia pedophile nene buka kendia atele drug jawoti dunia be kon abuka kendia ila jaro ise jara nyawnya nene ta kendia foni fata ngabo to ngana nyanyi gynecologist old mbadi ngol ni mu victim oti call ke mbeto mabolale ni nyinkete la sister la call ke mbato mabola mbete fongo to mabola ito ta fola jam nomba bi jela sa call ke minja yeah Jara I know that's what I'm saying. They tell the parents that mbedingo nyim sponsor lale and yedingo di la fuaria kanati ne dingo tinyang al kanal dingo tinyang gambianol alo nyim fuaria kanati nale al dingol di pedophile le bal dingol di file lalie ibal dingol tinyang nalie dingo mi mbete na fala soma yal nete ko dingo mi wafi wotu babo ya abete na fala min na soma o dingo sina fay rich wotu babo fongoti temo long asa karang ay ke man sakewti asa karang ay ke loyalty asa karang ay ke justice minister ti one day ay karang ay ke doctoroti ay nyafita bari koronto dron hadama dingo ibe dingo tale ba wafi tubabo le Jara this is very sad. Poverty da matine be dingo wafi tubabo le nimbota je mbemuru na nyin diamo kanne because I feel for jang is too serious akaya for tourism minister ko to nyanta woti tourism board ko to nyanta woti and they didn't act akoya jakale why Gambia government man act akomi fonga ya dimi bake minatina Adama Barrow abe pardon presidential pardon dealer wo pedophile le min soro mi anka dindi jamal abuse sexually akwa TV ya jakale why Adama Barrow wol kafanya di pardon wa Adama Barrow o mano o Norwegian o pardon akoya ti jakal so mbe muru na nyin diamoto la nyin pedophile diamoto in Gambia kodo kanati na Gambenul musul mbamal aning famal al kanal dingo wafi kodo la fuwari akano sabu ibal dingol defile bal dingol tinyanna dukare ngal dani al sabari al balfal dingoliye nimbota woto nga mbina doctorol tool folale ning gynecologist sol mbine tool folale min yalon ko wolle kan na musul ta igbe laño yala wandi musoli ni wol fanke laño ya mi yalon ko wol dol ke malbe tubabudu ini ke laño ya dol kono be wolla kono amanka ko min kana fan yalla mo kan jande nin toñante nkina doctorol min tofu isa fa toñante isa kol ke je ya fa toñante warela mol badingol banjube kan ne maybe isa fa ngeto moy janne de so science tanying live jibe ye fango to clear nyimbe Gambia ba keren Gambia ba na molle tinyankan so funga diam ibenna muso le tinyankan so funga diam nte bi jambe na muso sponsor la Gambia mbe ko be kala na muso e Gambia wakata doctoro wa pra jararo doctoro na kela al fango nyin jibe ni mambete yade andi to koy professional la bebul profession wala bebul nga doctor follow min to soto wolom doctor Mbouti doctor Mbow ala lopitano be mun tole kanifin Dr. Mbow ñi musol ko anu dol fanka bu ñan tubabu dule fay kata Dr. Mbow ya min yalon ko ani kela ye ñi genital problem soto ani kela akela nombalta ngol be soto janne dol be tubabu di ka bu janto ay kata semester la ni da semester la ye musu problem soto comme ye ila musu yae sasa soto yeta ya pura ye makoy ayela nombata ay call ay boro fo be mimmi na pra dobi je fang akamin dila manke bor correct ngote ngami bi aka antibiotics le dila because antibiotics niaming aka fenjamale bondi momo yalon ko emu Dr. Mbowla victim ti you can call. We have to stop this. We have to break this silence. Anjan taka finti aye alnga break silence mota al tofola ja ne call ken tete tofola ne call ken tela number dila mola ne call ke mbela identity mba safe lale mota sotola. We promise you that. Let's break the silence. Come out, let's talk. Iko Dr. Mbow musulaba ngumi ya explain kabrata Dr. Mbow ya Dr. Mbow ya check aya tandala ko itala nyimbe garawrinne mbe minekela mba borol sefele yeta sang ay boro sefe musonyi kay no nyin ada ko le yatale ndeta nyin sanna no aka okay ila nomba dina mbe call lale ngema koy nga bendula to ngema koy iba sanna dami okay ala nomba di Dr. Mbow Dr. Mbow tata ya call ibenta traffic light ma fongola kanifi mafon la iko doctor mbola malon bunyadi la bije ye safe house soto je to her surprise another doctor do fanantara je miyano ko gynecologist balom Gambia ika faye doctor Baji akonto mu Baji leti akawo fanantara je nyinata ka kuti mi yalon ko amanna kate dammal andate wandi musolo mate de akemabe tubabu dole akemaba Europe janne akemaba tubabu du Dr. Mboya nene ay boro di ala le badana e la nyoya natara kurango be tala mi yalon ko fang kurango non tonya minana ni be lala ikodo bije ka fo le Mr. Baji matela clinico long ay clinico soto dami mawlong bari ka to mu Mr. Baji le ti ka fa Dr. Baji eko gynecologist solo musol balon na la min yalon ko ka musia problème soto ikata yale nga sabanjango min soto ma to long bakan kol sam makoy ikaba bakawle katikal mafongo Boubacar Jammeh mfama dinding ala cordato ate ala clinico soto jeleto andum bakaw sunkutu ndingol kata yale iko nyim fanan ma tolong alsam mako ya toto nali ya tolong ba to folale ninga momo tolong be to folale isine fangol defend iko nyim fanan fondin kenyin afanan kake musol lale ani musu jamale la na bakaw kono je ko atafana mu gynecologist solti nyimu kulati mi yalon ka jawyata bak andu nyunu be Mr. Baji lombang Dr. Mbaw lombang nyimmi be bakaw lombang ibeni la musol long they all have their wives. Why are they taking their profession as an advantage to disadvantage to the victims? Why? Because the victims are poor. They cannot provide money for their cure. You want to cure them by having sex with them. But untola Gambian katamuto nyimbe mu jawyalati de. Nyimbe mu jawyalati. Nte nyim fo janne su nekul dega Dr. Mbow dañ la accuse dañ ñu call te waxuñ mako man kena ñu bari lañ ko wax. Ñu ne sa liggéey yaa ngay abuse suñ jigéeni even ñu biir sax da nga leen dee tëddoo so ñun lii lañ am pour wax Gambien yi ne koo xam ne da nga nekk victime yi ñii former CC, I cannot say whether it's consensual or consensual or they are. The woman said she did it because she has no choice, and Dr. Mbow told her that this is the only way I can help you. You don't have the money. You either sleep with me or you don't have a medicine. You don't have a cure. So it can be consensual. It can be rape. In my point of view, it is a slight rape because you are using power. You have the power. Then it is a rape. You are using power. You have the power. You are having all the mechanism in your hands. Then it's a rape. You cannot call that a consensual because, okay, come, let me give you this and we sleep. We had sex. Then you don't want to do it, but you have no choice. You don't want to do it, but you have no choice. So that is a kind of a rape because I rape you in a civilized way. I rape the woman in a civilized way. Not forcefully. I rape her because she wants something from me. Amanke coming from a boro da mati. Gambia jekata moya le pra ye makoy. Ibaring fong kam musol janete ibaringol fong ya. Pri ibaringol ye makoy kodola. Ibaringol ko nimbe solo kodola fonge sunjuma. Ibaringol ka fe nimbe solo kodola. Fe la nyenga mfana yela. He nka dolme ka fe bari ite mum bari neti de ite mum ba ma ko to maleti de. All this is happening in the Gambia. All this is happening in the Gambia. Adam Silva, if I'm not okay, you think I will be here? Maybe you are the one who have problem. I'm asking if is anything okay with you? If nothing is if I'm not okay, you think I will sit here? Let me ask you if anything is okay with you. Because I'm here, you are seeing me, I'm talking, you are asking me, is everything okay? Is everything okay with you? Alibaba Kanyi, that is true too. The woman could have called the husband and said, they charge me this amount of money. I am sick and this is what. But maybe too, the woman is scared to tell the husband, this is the sickness I have. Yalong, wala nankafu mule communicata semester la. Inyanta ke hakilo tubakele. Ni tenen kura o manta yadi mula musola Gambia. Ibe kura o bon la muso bulle na nanja. Wala nandeka semester, minikata semester la Gambia. Nke advice every year ni semester kanasi. Nka semester, nka findle nga live video that just for semesters. To be very careful. When you go into Gambia, when you are not sick, or you are sick, you took your sickness to Gambia and gave it to our sisters. When you are not sick too, you can go to Gambia and brought sickness to your wife who you left here in Europe or America. You can brought sickness from somebody else, a woman who is sick, you don't know. She gave you the sickness, you come here, you give it to your wife. Hakatman tambe wala. Ala buko mari, anene buko mari balal. Mi yalonko, ikas kura mo bondi modo bale ka di modo. Ala buko mari nene balal. Ala ko nene te balal la. Because ite kura mo taya bondi modo bale ya di modo la. Wo balal ta woto. Yom fata woto. Sekonto ko minke ma te ya kaka kalon ko kura mo banna. Mbadi ngol. Nga nyin tolle soto jang. Na tara to nyanteng. Then they can say it's not true. They can go anywhere to defend themselves. But this is what we have here. And more killing thing. Natara more killing num fang, I will not believe the story. Natara more fulalom fang, I will not believe the story. Natara danta more sabala, I will not believe the story. Natara danta more nanila, I will not believe the story. Natara danta more lulula, I will not believe the story. But this is so many people, so many women who are scared to come out and talk. They're told, they are scared. They are embarrassed, not scared even. Let me not use scared. Let me take that word back. They are embarrassed to come out and expose these people because of their family status, their marital status, and their relationship status. They don't want to jeopardize that. So that's why they said, ablangande sinya klinom sinya flalom dama. But do bige, ikonyunu ika continue like a call, prietaje pri niela. Badi Gambe musol al kunkal fangola bang al jio kal kunkono bang ita doctoro ya pour jara lola ni man ko do soto afa man ko do soto ni man ko do sakate boro ba bulle pour ay jara bari pour ni la oto men la fitela ibangi la bankoto yela foreata ya kanda to nyalom foar yala be Gambia to nyalom Gambia be kolearine bari mbadingol alinga damang bari musol ala damang ke fongo di mola mi yalon ka man ke kemat andite yalon ko kebebul ke fongo di mola mi yalon ko itebe konomaring parce que detolatin na imang weto wesoto pour ye boro sang maybe nata ko e boro taita pharmacie ngoto ita antibiotic sa ya ming antibiotic ka sang Gambia witati man prescription dale doctor man prescription dale ta jama nying musia problemo antibiotic ka bondile tai antibiotic sa yaming aba bondile le but nibe konomari nak I don't advise you to go and buy antibiotic and drink it because I said dingo affect no ayete fongo affect so me advice wala yeta ya antibiotic sang yaming because kono bela no Dr. Mbow anim Dr. Baji anin yimbe bakaw ma tolong if you know his name he's living at Bubakar Jammeh's compound in Kachikali. If you know his name, we want to know his name. They can come out and clarify themselves. This is the allegation, it is an allegation. So I'm not saying that this is what is happening exactly, but these are allegations not from one person, two persons, three persons, four persons. No. Many people, many women who are complaining about this. That's why I said today I will come here to talk about it. And we can share our ideas to see how to help these people. Is an exposure which is an allegation towards Dr. Mbow, towards Dr. Baji, towards the one in Bakau at Bubakar Jammeh's compound in Kachikali. So please, if you know his name, the one in Kachikali, Bubakar Jammeh's compound, please, we want to know his name so that we can say his name as we said these guys, these two doctors, their name. Dr. Mbow, su dee lii dëgg la yaa ngi koo def su dee lii dëgg la yaa ngi koo def bàyyil am nga ay doom am nga ay jabar yaa ngi sëy soo bàyyi di ko def léegi àdduna bi óorut mun naa am kenn di nga def mistake kenn dem vidéo la wara nataal la mu expose la wara kenn dem record la in recorder sa voice sa everything mu expose la sa jabari rus sa doomi rus léegi ñu ngi wax ne allegation la waaye gars yi mun nañoo am proof de oytul because ñu ngi si digital wall chain yi sa yëpp digital lañ mun nañoo def vidéo mun nañoo def recording watch yi ngay gis yëpp mun nañoo def recording mun nañoo def video ring dañoo mun a def video recording dañoo mun a def voice recording Mr Badji ñu ngi laa ñaan yaa ngi am jabar bàyyi leen doomi jàmbur yi tamit saka surtout ma ñu am jabar bàyyi leen ci seen jàmma yow ku nekk bakaw nii ñu ngi laa ñaan da nga am jabar di nga am doom bu jigéen bàyyi leen di expose suñ doom yu jigéen yi suñ mag yu jigéen yi suñ raka jigéen yi suñ yaay yi bàyyi leen di leen use advantage ne amuñ feena yéen si yéen leen ñëw ngeen leen a def loo xam ne naka sudut loolu noonu nit am problème mu ñëw si yow pour nga dimbale ko te nekkul ne dimbale free la daf laa fay nga jël nombaam call ko pour dem tëddaa moom te yow óor na la kooku ne dina la wax ne am naa jëkkër parce que nit su ñëwee jigéen su ñëwee si yow ak problème jigéen ya danga ko dee laajte ndax da nga am far ndax da nga am jabar jëkkër ndax da nga am sugar daddy da ngeen ko dee laajte yéen docteur yi kii su amee far dina wane waaye am naa far su amul far dina wane am naa jëkkër su amul jëkkër dina wane am naa side sugar daddy bi waaye war a am naa boyfriend boo xam ne time to time lañ dee am time waaye nekkuñ loolu yëpp daf dee am Gambia so yow di nga am status di nga xam statusu jigéen boobu noonu pour xam ne kii nit moo ko jox wara moo ko jox nit nga try sax yéen doo leen dee xalaat la jigéen ñëw si yow ak problème yi jigéen laaj teguloo ko kanaay faram ana faram fan la ndika su dee mu ngi am far nga far boobu noonu test far boobu noonu wara test jëkkër boobu noonu su dee am na jëkkër nga test jëkkër boobu noonu tamit nga test ko ndax moom tamit waalewul ndax moom moo waale ndax jigéen bi moo waale si moom ngeen xam problème bi ngeen solve problème bi waaye léegi nii jigéen yu bari ñu ngi dégga jigéen yu bari ñu ngi dee waaye yii tamit ay problème yoo xam ne ñu ngi si tegu si problème yooyu noonu yii mu ngi bokk si problème yoo xam ne ñu ngi gis jigéen yu biir ñuy dem wasin di dee wala doom yi dee yii yëpp problème la em leen si seen jëkkër yi wala seen far yi wala seen waxambaane yi em leen si ñooñu noonu ma ngi leen a ñaan because problème bi mu ngi escalate so ma ngi wax docteur Mbow docteur Badji ak docteur bu nekk Bakaw bàyyi leen loo leen nekk di def dinañ am evidence boo xam ne is a solid evidence ñu ñëw génnee ko fii seen doom yi rus seen jabar yi rus seen bokk yi rus lii sa dafa ruslu ñuy wax seen tur yi fii lii sa dafa ruslu seen doom yi di dégg ne dañ accuse suma papa lii dafa ruslu seen jabar yi di dégg ne dañ accuse suma papa lii seen bokk yi di dégg dañ accuse suma papa lii loolu xanaa loolu sa nekkul problème si yéen soo leen amee façon problème yi ngeen dem ba expose ngeen dem si seen jabar yi waaw seytaane la baalal leen ma rek seytaane la fekk yow ba nga koo def xalaatuloo seytaane ba nga koo def xalaatuloo seytaane mu ngi la neex si sa baaneex la Fatou Dramé Doucouré really disgusting it's really disgusting nit yow ñëw si yow pour nga dimbale ko jàppale ko jox ko medication nga ko laal pour lan dinañ wax laal dinañ ko wax loolu moo am so foog mu wax ko so docteur Mbow ma ngi laa ñaan docteur Badji ma ngi laa ñaan ak ku nekk bakaw xamuñ kooku tuuraam benn tey suñ amee texte ne wax nañ ñu tuuraam dinañ ko wax nomba bi mu ngi fi ku bëgg a yónnee texte wala ku bëgg a call yaa ngi nekk victime mun ngeen a call si nomba bi dinañ leen jël soo leen callee ñun man like I said mun nañ leen a protect seen identity duñu wax seen tuur kenn du xamee seen baat because lii lifin la sound system la kenn du xamee sa baat xanaa nga wax sa tuur de waaye soo waxut sa tuur man duma wax sa tuur waaye soo leen bëggee call pour contribute line si ñu ngi ubbi mun ngeen a call ñu talk about this is about Gambia. We have to change our attitude. We have to call out people who are been doing bad things to our people. The victims too are players in this game. It's not only Dr. Mbow or Dr. Baji or the one in Bakau. Victims also are players in this. Suma jigeni mun ngena bagn. Mun ngena bagna nangune ñu tedda yeen because of amulen halis pour fay len. Mun ngena bagn tedda ci souf. Xana xam len ne mun nañoo withdraw Dr. Mbow laysinam bi ci loxom. Xana xamulen ne problème bi mun nañoo jël laysini Mr. Baji ci loxom. Xana xamulen ne problème bi mun nañoo tax ñu jël laysin ku nekk bakaw diko def gynecologist nekk bakaw diko jëf. Mun nañoo jël laysinam ci mom du practice waati. Why? Nañ bàyyi lii ñun yëpp la yéen yëpp yéena Dr. Mbow yëpp a def jaawaare fii nekkul Dr. Mbow rek de nekkul Dr. Baji rek de yéen you are all players. We cannot blame only the doctors. We cannot blame only the gynecologists and leave you people there. No, we cannot do that. You are also part of the problem. You are players. If you don't allow yourself to be used, nobody will use you. That's why they said female or women has a code called no. No is a no. Like in Sweden here, nay is nay. Because fee ngay gis ne from starting nga buga tedo jigéen mu ne la déedéet. Okay? From the starting mu ne la no. Wax na la no for the first time. Nga nak ko wax ko ray ko def ko ni ngeen tëdda. Mu jóg dem si police bi. Boole na la ne kii daf ma rape. Fekka rebuloo ko de player la si rebin bi player la because dafa nangu si diga bi waaye moom lu moo xalaat si boppam bi nga starté daf la wax ne non bàyyil non waaye nga nak ko te daa moom fii Sweden fii dañ laa tëj seen waxtaan boobu noonu si diga bi waxtaan nga nak ko ba mu ngay wiin xaataam jooj bi daf la wax ne jigéen dafa easy pour yóbbu waaye for starting daf la ne no te no is no. How man da yeneen country Europe noonu la nekk waaye ñun suñ Sweden nay is nay su la jigéen ne nay from the starting nay la soo defee naka sudut loolu nga nak ko ba tëddaa moom mu dem file kii wax naa ko si starting bi bugguma mu nax ma ba tëddaa moom daf laa yóbbu police yi ñëw jël la yóbbu la court ñu tëj la nga fay ko xaalis Sweden fii loolu moo fi dee happen te Gambien lii façon loi bi dañ ko war a am because no is no lii àdduna bi yëpp la round. Even England mu ngi fa a no is a no. A no is a no. Thank you very much, Asmon. Asmon said everywhere. Koku England la neka. Definitely Fatou Drame Dukure. Mun ngeen dem si jigéen. Sirfo billahi wala ta'ala, these doctors, this gynecologist, Dr. Mbow and Dr. Baji and the one in Bakau, I don't know his name. They are real idiots. But the players also are idiots. The players too are idiots. Because you are playing with the fire. You can say no to this. You can say no to this. So Dr. Mbow, ñu ngi laa wax si loo nekk bàyyi ko. Mr. Baji, Dr. Baji, ñu ngi laa wax si loo leen nekk xam nañ ko nekkut xamuñ ko de xam nañ ko léegi dañoo def planting seen office yi ñu plant fa secret cameras secret recorders ñu leen laa record seen conversation dinañ try sax seen mobile yi trafic bi ñu jaam ko dinañ ko try because dañ bugg a gis evidence so continuer leen de bu leen bàyyi de continuer leen di tëdda jabari jàmbur yi jàngi jàmbur yi di tëddoo even ku biir sax Imagine this. Somebody who is pregnant. Yang am na ki mu ngi am dom. Mu ngi ñëw am si dom, mu ngi biir. Nga buga teddo mo. Ngay tedda mo. Jabari jambur wara janghi jambur amna kuko biirar. Xana ñu Gambia amuñ gynecologist jigéen. Xana amuñ lolu jigéen. Do leen dem si jigéen yi ngeen bay góor yi yeen tamit jigéen yi. Li yépp seen faute la de. Yeen ñi dem si docteur Mbow seen faute la. Xamna ñoo xamne dañ dé gungé seen xarit yi fofu ñu ma sétane fi ñu ngi noppi ñu ngi wane ki luma wax dégg la mo wax de. Dañ dé gungé seen xarit yi fofu nonu té seen xarit yi def leen dé explainal lu leen docteur yi def. Ñu ngi fi ñu ngi sétane wara dinañ sétane ci kanam dañ xamne lumay wax ne ko dama fen de man fen duma gëna fi de so leen gisé ma gëna live dama am evidence dama am lo xamne dafa am fuma ko teggu dafa am fo xamne fofu la ko tegal xawma naka lañ ko dé wax nim fi ni da nata ka fem fo man na nga fo ko fede man na nga fo parce que la fa mo le tumal la de parce que man docteur Mbow jaralu duma dara xawma ko sax Mr Badji jaralul ma dara xawma ko ku nekk bakaw xawma ko way report si lañ am mota ñu ko wax wa Gambia jigéeni Gambia bay leen di nekk players man dina blame Dr Mbow for his professionalism dina blame Dr Badji for his professionalism dina blame doctor bu nekk bakaw from his experience as a doctor, a professional doctor, shouldn't abuse our women with problems. But yen women tamid, yen jigeni Gambia tamid, manglena yen yep players len. So we don't know who to blame and who to leave even. I blame you, me, jigeni Gambia ni. Yo xamne yow mima call di wax sa problem bi ni. Yo tamid you are a player in this. So bagnon nga tide si souf, nga dem ut halis, di nga am halis. Why you cannot just accept to sleep with somebody and then you feel bad later. You think that, oh, I shouldn't do this. Why should I do this? And you feel bad. You want to expose him. It's the same. You know, we can help you to expose them, but have respect for yourself too. Have respect for yourself too. We have a name from Bakau, but we will not confirm it. They said the one, Jalang Sonko said, the one in Bakau is called Pachar. They call it Pachar. They call him Pachar. But Pachar is not a name. Pachar is just Wolof. Pachar mut surwatol te Pachar. Lan moy Pachar sa si Olof. Dama day dega tour, day dega lolu si Olof de Pachar. Ki Pachar la. Lan moy Pachar si Olof. Olof yi dimbalen ma. Yoy ñi dega Olof dimbalen ma lan moy Pachar. So ku nekk Bakaw ñu nek mom Pachar la tuda. Gynecologist nekk Bakaw ñu ne koko Pachar la tuda waaye Pachar bàyyi leen di def lii baaxul ñii suñ sisters lañ ñii suñ yaay lañ ñii suñ doomi jigéen lañ jigéen please mbaal daani la ali yon fa dindingol ye mbaal daani la al don yon fa sunkutu ndingol ye mbaal daani la ali balal mbaal daani la al sabar mbaal daani la ala kan alin kila kan mbal danila alin nyimbula ngamuru nyim pedophile problem oto ngaje molba video ki kanye but nga sotole altol mimba ki kanye thank you very much nga video sotole abembulle Mr. President Adama Barrow, can you please explain to Gambian people why do you pardon a pedophile, a non-Gambian from Norway to Gambia? Yes, he has a family there of young kids he was abusing, and he was arrested and went to jail. But they said, you gave him presidential pardon. Ntema fo de Angleterre journalist o la fo. Okay, coming be Bakau, Dr. Pachar Nying, you can file Dr. Jayane. I don't know, Jayane? Dr. Jayane. Is it Jane? You want to say Jane or Jane or what? Dr. Jane or Dr. Jayane? You coming be Bakau, what o moleti? But Adama Barrow, I want to know the answer. Why did you pardon a pedophile? Why? Ntema fo de. investigative journalist wala info minko Gambia is a pedophile paradise. It's a paradise for pedophiles. Wala ko Italy nyin Norwegian o mi yalon ko ya muta Gambia ya sorong because akana dindingol le tinyang ya sorong ite ya pardon presidential pardon dial ako ate fongo ma understand defana lafta ansala Gambia no fana lafta ansala why ya pardon mine kata ya pardon. Is it because of tubabo lo mtete accuse ko ay kodol dila de because mawo lonje mang evidence to ko ay kodol di man sakundala mang evidence to ko anim man sakunda be do ko wala mang evidence to ko ay bribery ke to free himself. No. Nte ngamira o min soto. Ngamiro min soto. Adama Barrow. Ngamiro min soto. Walam ali ajele ko drong nyimu tubabol ti alkombatu ngabula. Hey. Ila fat Adama Barrow ite nyanta ka tubabol on ka tambi mol beti fam. Parce que istete England le. Istete Germany le. Tubabol mu khadama din kensa ngolti kata do ko lay kata yala ye 14 control fanam be kam 14 nyaming. Mbe do ko ke. Dol tubabol dol bije ka boli ko leke tubabol dol bije ka fitaro leke tubabol dol bijang ika moma ko leke tubabol dol bijang apparentel lom tubabol dol bijang imanke moti mi yalon ko extraordinary lom halama din kensangol lom so ntela mira roto this guy don't give the government anything, he don't give the president anything, he don't have no connection with the government na mira lom minti rek ya jelo ko tubabol lom doron ikal ngabla eta. So we can listen to government where we can listen to Grame where he's saying that he don't even understand why the president gave that man a pardon. Why did the president pardon that man? And we have activities on Facebook. Yesterday we saw them jumping around. Day before yesterday jumping. I'm an activist. These things are happening in your country. Many kids are taken by these pedophiles, saying they're going for semester in Gambia. They said Gambia is a pedo. These people are sick. Niati atol Gambia aliabana nyimman sick. Aliamna ko nyimmanke kuti alnyanta ka ila moy mina alto nyanta ka ila moy politico. It can happen to your kid. Lungo manke politico today. Lungo manke Adama Barrow, lawyer dabo, PPP, UDP, NCP, GPP, PPP, GPDP, APRC, NPP. No. Every day is not that. Lundol alnga diamu ngam fongo karandi. Lundol alnga diamu ngam fongo shambe fongo mako ele nyadile. Gambenol. Lungo be manke politico ti. Lundol nga si ngam fongo mako ngam fongo jube mbe fongo mako le nyaadile luolo manki coming Adama Barrow no lungol dol alanga si ngam fongo jube ba ngafo konko alanga si nga kacha bang fenna ba kere mimma nyana kela alanga si ngam fongo jube ba ngam fongo mako every day is not politics bon tol gambenol lafta nya bijila kudol kan nga nyalo ku kilin kan wolo munte politiko ti wolo Adama Barrow lawyer luolo control tam fongo bul detrimental kuol be caring Gambia mi yalon ko they are deadly. They don't happen to you today, but your child can be a victim. Your brother's child can be a victim. Your sister's child can be a victim. Your sister's daughters, they can be victims. So we have to talk about this. These are things we have to talk about, not everyday politics. If you are not victim of Dr. Mbow and Dr. Baji and Dr. Pachar, you could be a victim. Your sister can be a victim of Dr. Mbow. Your cousin can be a victim of Dr. Mbow. Either friend or your friend can be a victim of Dr. Mbow. This has nothing to do with politics. Let's come together and make Gambia great. We can do it as Gambians. But we need to come out and talk issues. And share issues, not every day. Lawyer Dabo Koteng, Adama Barrow Koteng, Adama Barrow Manine Doku, Adama Barrow Manineke, Konko be Gambia. Ha, Tonyalo Ngolo na sign, Barado Moyola sign. But if I'm Nadiamu Mialonko, you know, cool at Minialonko, Honey Adama Barrow Tata. New old manta, o President Fanatitala no, Mimbina, Atitala no. Thank you very much, Fatou Drame Dukure. Let's talk about this to save somebody. Let's talk about these issues to help somebody who is in it and they cannot come out of it. We could have more, also call Kenojang. Thank you, Osman. Alia diamunina, alia more safe, alia sister safe. Me alonko, amala ba fintla no nyim problem o kono nyadile. I finti nanje. Ntol Gambe, we have a long way to go. Yes, we can. We are eyeing Adama Barrow. We bring lawyer Dabo. There are issues they have to be talked now so that they can be satisfied. Nimma will talk right now. It will be there and it will be a problem for lawyer Dabo to solve it because we are not talking about it. It will be a problem for him. Then we will start pointing fingers at him. You know some problem. Kudol fong bije. Ntol gambe ntol diam lal fong. Nka tawle de. Ntol diam lal. Nka tawle Adam Baro. But nka tawle ngalonoko. Wolmu kuolet isusulte mini alonko. Dia ntol fong within us. Ntol fong so solve no. It's not the care for the government. It's for our own care. Our own self. We can do something about it. And solve that problem. Because we want something to satisfy us. We do it. But some things, let's come as Gambians. We are all Gambians. We are all Gambians. No matter which tribe you belongs to. We are all Gambians. No matter which ethnic groups you come from. We are all Gambians. Let's join together and make Gambia great before we go to the election. We have to fix the potholes. We have to fix the holes. We have to fix the falling fences before we will make Gambia great. If not, Gambia will never be great. We will be voting changing. Every year, Gambia will never change. Even the election is every 5 years, I know. But every year, even though we are changing presidents every year, we will never have a president who will change our problems for us. We have to change ourselves. We have to come out as Gambians and talk to each other and tell the truth to each other. This will help Gambia to go. But we are blaming every day. Gambia will never go. Even you make who the president of Gambia, Gambia will never go anywhere. Let's come out as Gambians. We talk as Gambians. Let's pin each other. We have to pin each other and say the truth to each other. Then tomorrow we can be friends. Because we know that we did something great. We will know that we did something for Gambia. Let's do something for Gambia. Let's not do something for Lawyer Dabo, or do something for Adama Barrow, or do something for Halifa Sallah, or do something for GPDP, or do something for, I don't know who, Mama Kande. We do it collectively for Gambia, Can we do this once and for all? In Europe, yeah, this is what they do. In Europe, muna nan take up dum politiko kono because la fala Gambia ko Europe ti. But Gambia, nka Gambia la ko cross nyaming tol neneti tala dulato. Because you know why? Because we want to see each other's failures. La fa mo be ka fail, mo kana pass Gambia titala no. Haninga inata prophetol fentolye ya jindinya ala nata wala fena. Astaghfirullah, but ala prophetol jindin tolye. Ntitala no. Njiko mjawyatale. How long this Dr. Mbow thing was going on? How long? For how long? For how long this pedophilia is going in Gambia? For how long? And it still continue. Because you know why? Ntolbe jawyata nyolale. Momang fit soto o momang ntebake kanne momang Cairo duante purunga bonda kono. They want me to continue. My family is doing it. They don't want to do anything. Because of Sondomo Jawiya. We have bad minds for each other. We don't wish each other good. Let's wish for once and for all. Let's make a platform. Let's have a platform. We call it Pinch Gambia. We all come there to pinch each other, to bring out the truth from each other. We don't have to make it an insult place. We don't have to make that this one have PhD or master's degree in this. No. We come together as Gambians and share what can make Gambia great. All these African countries are doing it right now. I'm seeing it. They have a pinch page, a page called Pinch. Pinch Ghana, Pinch Nigeria, Pinch Sierra Leone. They come there, they say, if you see them talking, you think that these people, they hate each other. No. But they are talking about their country, how to make it great without involving the government. They will bring policies and present it to the ministers to go by those policies and make it great. Rwanda. Aliamena ko kegali da mala ke bang. Halide. Ala mol mini be banta. Wole site ke nyo pinch. Ya nyine kata janga manya na kela. Genocide min kata manya na kela. Na family la ke manya na ka ke rongtale. Isonta ko la family le ko coming hani ya jamme bi. nasa ni sino nyim pinch kono ay finta ay tonya fa man ta court fang ay finti nga ay tonya fa ha tonya lom ndela koy kari fa ndela koy nyinken tele nga pinch nga fa ko bari min kay amang ha nga min kay amang correct tenin bari nyanta ka nyine nga move forward min bambala la yambala min tambala le karambala yan samba court ya samba court. We could have this as Gambians to make Gambia great. I'm coming. Let me play this.
Joins us now from London via Skype. Graham, just reading that story sends, chills, and it's a very, very sad story. Take us through how, just looking... Title, The Gambia Has Become a Pedo Paradise. Take us through that title and how you came upon the story and the expose that has come through.
Well, I was actually in the Gambia covering a different story, but whilst I was there, it became very apparent, and you would see it all the time, that there were a lot of older Western men who were caring for young Gambian children. And that was obvious because of, it's very clear from how they look, but it's almost definitely the biological father. So this caught my attention, and the more we looked into the story, the more it became apparent that the Gambia has a serious child abuse problem and a serious problem with tourists travelling there with the specific intention of abusing children. And so that became the story that I ended up covering. And it's a story that's I'm pleased to say, it's had a huge reaction, and people all around the world have been very concerned about this and have wanted to do what they can to help. I've had lots of people emailing me and contacting me through social media, asking what they can do to improve the situation there. And unfortunately, I don't have a very clear idea of what to tell them, because it's a very complex problem. The Gambia is a very poor country, and so I don't think there's any easy solutions to how you improve things down there and how you protect these children. There don't seem to be many charities, but at least there's not many international charities that are actively involved in helping children in the Gambia. And the people who are trying to help often individuals from the West, and sadly a lot of this help is laced with menace. It's laced with sour apples. And people are going to the Gambia posing as good Samaritans when their intentions are to abuse young children.
Now, Graham, what happens afterwards once the children have been sold to these pedophiles? What happens? How long are they there for? Maybe a couple of weeks, as it says that your story says they're tourists. And then what happens when they leave? Are the children sent back to their families? Do they take the children with them? What's the situation there?
Well, I can tell you with absolute certainty that the people who are travelling to the Gambia to commit these crimes are not facing justice, and that they're not being arrested, they're not being prosecuted. And that's an absolute fact, because if you go through the case histories, there are very, very few cases where these people ever see a courtroom or the inside of a police cell. The one case I could find was a Norwegian man who was already a convicted sex offender in Norway. He travelled to the Gambia, he wormed his way into a family there, used a large number of children, was arrested, was put in jail, but then he was pardoned by the president for reasons that have never been explained. And that is shocking, and it's outrageous, and that something needs to change. They now do have the laws in the Gambia to prevent this kind of thing, but for some reason they're not forcing them. And that is one very clear and obvious way the government could take action, is just to make use of the laws they've already created. But for some reason they're not doing that.
In terms of reaction from the government, has there been any reaction? And, has there been any explanation as to why they're not using or enforcing their laws?
The only reaction I've had is from the Tourism Board, who have described my article as malicious. And that was upsetting to me, because there was nothing malicious about my article. My article was born out of concern for children and out of a wish to raise awareness for what is happening there, and out of concern with a situation that I witnessed with my own eyes. Now, I haven't been able to, I haven't arrested any, I haven't conducted a citizen's arrest on any paedophiles, and that's beyond the limits of my capabilities, really. But what I did see was how easy it is for Western tourists to gain access to tiny Gambian children. I mean, in my country, if you approached a family and said, "Can I spend a day or a week with your child?" they would say no, unless they knew you really well. But it seems like in the Gambia, because of the economic situation there, people can turn up, complete strangers, and spend time alone with young children. And that, for me, was hugely concerning. And I imagine in the Gambia, there's probably a temptation to try and cover this up because it makes the country look bad. But I think if it happened, that'd be really, really sad, because this is something they need to come to terms with, and they need to address it. And they need to do it sooner rather than later before more children are harmed. I mean, you can never protect all children. Child abuse goes on in every country all the time. It happens in my country, it happens in your country. But if you're not prosecuting, if you're not even trying to prosecute people who are doing it, and you're not taking a very proactive and public stance against this, and if there's any temptation to try and cover it up, that's wrong. And the people in power have to realise it's wrong and go after the people who are trying to harm your children, your own country's children. That's what any good government would do.
But now, just looking at the fact that this is now British men who are allegedly committing these crimes, has there been any response or reaction from the British government, or, you know, just to say, listen, we are aware, we are seeing the story, and you know, let's do something about it? Has there been any reaction from the British government?
No, sadly not. And there don't seem to be any British law enforcement agencies that are actively working in the Gambia. I've contacted the National Crime Agency about this with the simple intention of handing over my photos to see if they could identify any of those men who are pictured, and if any of them are known to them, which to me seemed like quite a common sense step to take. But they haven't wanted to engage. In fact, they refused to. So as far as I might be wrong, but as far as I'm aware, the British government is not taking an interest in this. I wouldn't go as far as saying they're burying their head in the sand, but it doesn't seem to be on their radar. I know the British government is very actively involved in a number of countries, including the Philippines, which has been a big focus of their efforts to stop British tourists travelling abroad and abusing children. But as far as I know, they're not doing anything in the Gambia. If someone wants to step forward and tell me that's not the case and they're doing this and that, then great. But that's, as far as I can tell, it's not happening right now.
And the international community, the United Nations, for instance, are they aware of the situation or what's taking place in the Gambia currently? And, you know, if they are aware, what are they doing about it, if anything?
The UN is very aware, and they travelled to the Gambia last year and did a fairly comprehensive report, which I've read. And I think that was a positive step forward. That report didn't get as much attention as the one I wrote, sadly. That's just because my report went on Sun Online, which is one of the most widely read websites in the world. So now everyone is reacting to it and talking about it. But the UN report was, showed clearly what's happening there, and it's a shame it didn't get more of a reaction. UNICEF also travelled to the Gambia some time ago and filed a similar report, found similar things. And there's an organisation called ECPAT that has been actively working in the Gambia to try and make this better. And the Sun Online actually made an appeal for people to donate to ECPAT because they are trying to help things over there. I think international organisations like the UN need to take more of an interest, because I think a lot of this has gone unreported and it's gone unnoticed by the world. But yes, there definitely has been, some previous reports, and that can only be a good thing. And
what are the families saying, Graham? Did you manage to, obviously in putting your story together, you probably spoke to a lot of the families and, you know, their reasoning behind it. I mean, selling a child for about £2, which is close to about, 40 Rand. You know, what is their reasoning? Desperation, you know, the poverty situation in the country. What are they saying? And when the children are brought back to their families, what happens?
Well, I did speak to some Gambians who are very concerned about this and have made efforts to try and protect the children that they see around them, excuse me. But a lot of Gambians are... I mean, in Gambia, there's a culture of silence, and people don't like to talk about things like this. And I saw that time and time again whilst I was there, and I've seen it again since I left. So it's not an easy subject to broach with people, and it's something people are very reluctant to open up about. But I mean, I've been contacted on social media by a lot of people who are saying that they've seen this with their own eyes and have tried to intervene. I've been contacted by people who say that they've reported things to the police and they wish more had happened. So I think there is a growing consciousness about this, and I hope that my report might help in some way. It's a story I definitely plan to keep on covering for what it's worth. I'm going to keep looking into this. I've got various interviews lined up, and I'm going to post about it as much as I possibly can on my website, which is www.mystorymedia.co.uk. So it's become something that I've become very passionate about, and I hope people in the Gambia will take an equal, and in fact, I hope they'll take much more of an interest in this in future, so that you know, some progress can be made.
Graham, thank you so much for your time this evening.
So Musa Marena, greetings to you. Mbele ni moinyola. £2 is too sad. Purke dingo wafi wala. Wale barin dingo. Wale dingo min karafela. Purka wafi wala £2 damma. Badinga meno nata nyine feale jambi. Nyim programme le bijam momo lafte sa call ke line over open the net to share your view. Like I said, I mean for at the end, it's too sad. Gambia is a culture of silence. We silence on everything. We take everything, these kind of things as taboo, like what Dr. Mbow and Dr. Baji and Dr. Pachar are doing to our women. We took it as taboo. It's not, pedophilia is in Gambia. Nia for a koi day, kana nyim for hey, nyimi barineti de kanata baring ex, ni baring be barin sorona, ibe nyinkele barina, molbe barin fala, molbe nyinkele barina. Ngajele barin jamale dingol tinyang. Ilam kotomal dingol ware dokoma dingol. Barin jamale tinyang. Pedophilia ba Gambia fa manka tubabul damati de mini kana nanjere. Nga barin jamale lo mini I barin dingol kake. Because of all nate dani kodolla. Because of all daltelale. Because of all ye kanule. Mbe nyaya jele mbeba Gambia le mbe nyaka jele ngande ya fi watun dindi mal nke jele ka happen we kept quiet, but you break the silence to protect people. If you don't talk, this will never end, and Gambia will never go anywhere, because these are problems that we could solve without the involvement of the government. For now, we have to talk about it. If you don't bring your problem to government, ni mela ikundimo sama doctor oya beboro dile la nyadi. Janim banyis problem o dila government antole si nga pinch page dada antol Gambia be mo be da blaje mo be ka diamu je nga pinch page dada be nyo pinch be diamu nyoe nga nyo ponye nga nyo junku nga tonya keso fo nyoe nga na ta nga na laba nga na samba Gambia government ya. Ni man ntole min dile man som den sinalon ko government o man betea government o man la fi Gambia betea antuka ntol mo okay. My brothers and sisters, hey subs, have you taken your voters card, and are you back in UK? Antuka ntol man nyinke, as Gambians, I don't see our country moving forward, moving an inch. Let's open a big page where all Gambians will be involved, the educated, the undergraduate, the non-educated, the PhD holder, the master holder, the blah blah blah. Mbe benje mo be kela kumofo. Nka min fale teng nying lafta ngaminke asa tribalism bangambia, asa hatred bangambia, asa wuliya fo bangambia, asa jawya bay Gambia, asa nafikiya bay Gambia, asa hasidiya bay Gambia, asa nyodoya bay Gambia, asa nyo hormanteya bang Gambia, asa nyo doyando bang Gambia. Asa nendiro bang Gambia. Because it doesn't matter which tribe you are, which kunda you are from. We will just sit and talk. No insult. Tell the bitter truth to each other. That's what this country need. Nyim blah blah blah. Nyim country mo be need. Na bitter truth le need within us ourselves, including anybody. Na bo be le need. I know. South I know it's very sad. It's really sad, definitely. Sanyang Beach was the cream eyes of Gambia. You know, Yajame supposed to build like 2 5-star hotels there before. A Sunwing Resort, 5 stars. He wanted to build in Sanyang because Sanyang was the cream of Gambia. Okay, thank you, South Apps. Zainab Azi, how are you? Alaikum salam. Let's talk about these issues, Gambia. We are all Gambians, irrespective of who is your father. As long as you are Gambian, let's come together and make Gambia great. We can make Gambia. We are sitting in America and saying, let's make America great, and we are making America great. We are sitting in Sweden and said, let's make Sweden great, and we are making Sweden great. We are sitting in England and saying, let us make England great, and we are making England great. Why can't we make our country great where we came from? By stopping all this nonsense and sit and tell the truth to each other without insulting each other. We come as Gambians. We come as Gambians together to solve this problem. It's not a big problem. Other countries have done it. Why can't we do it? We are too small. We are less than 2 million people. Countries have done it, which has 12 million, 13 million people. They've done it. And they are the best today in Africa. Why 2 million people, we cannot do it? Gambia fonga kaje mansakunda 20 million soto. Hanibi ikomo be fuariare. Ikomo 2 million la Gambia. 2 million. To 20 million soto. Nindam president de Gambia wala albe kontan la bakel. Nindara ya korodina. Million tata fata mbida Gambia molla. Gambia diwo dimbe kele millionaire because me million di lela. Wallahi me million di lela. Every Gambian I will give you 1 million. About 10 million na bembul. Iko 2 million Gambian da malabi. Every Gambian I will give you 1 million. No Gambian tolla government o belom de from Jawara to Yaya Jammeh to Adam Barrow. Ibele jawyata. Moma betia. Mansakunda tije min betiata je. Ibele jawyata. Je. Just 2 million people. 2 million people. What am I Gambia? 2 million. Nka moy 40 million, 50 million, 20 billion, 35 billion, 38 billion. Iko julole be Gambia, $38 billion. O julole be Gambia. Ntolbe 2 million. Nte okolo mutambulo kono. Gambia di wo di mbakala millionaire te mbe kumanda ngeto sa fin million deal. Eta business on. Gambia mota batala je kotenke. Mota batala Gambia kotenke. Kanyim billion on mimbe mo itende. Billion on. Iko Gambia government e julo min dung Gambia la 3 years. Just within 3 years is $38 billion. 38 billion. Allah Akbar. Ne kodol fo mo e kijol ke fara folofa. Ntolmu 2 million damma 2 million isa mo be sono $1 million sila. Mo isa $1 million di yala ya fa ko taite fo mo mako. Bar ko mi ngami fala tenti. Nyin jawiya min be sora aben soran kan tenti. Nyin jawiya ben solo mo kono ben jiso kono ntele bi taite titala. Gambia wala biji intele bita man may dem yow doo dem so ñun duñ dem fen duñ Gambie du musa dem fen ma ne la even ñu indi kii prophète Moussa mu ñëw duñu mun a dimbali parce que xam nga lan la ñun dañ bon bonaat nekkuñ nit yu baax yow doo dem nga ne man duma dem man su may dem nga xëcca suma tànka nga wàccee man nga ne man duma dem yow yaa war a dem man waruma dem yàlla waruma yóbbu yow la war a yóbbu a country of just 2 million people. You cannot even count our millionaires because there is none. I'll come in for millionaire. Do you think they are millionaires? Those are, if, hey, one man can millionaire, 1,000 nail, 1,000 on level. Million, and talk na mole millionaire. 1 millionaire today. 1 millionaire today. Billahi, na millionaire. Na millionaire, alfa mo basto albe sonnal ko tonya millionaire la nyinti. Altalie mo gogoli ka fo mi ko Jeff Epstein ya fale prison kono Jeff Epstein alta lo film jibe bam alta wala documentary jibe woni president wol le ka diandi president wol ngam min foytenti president wol ani wol le ka diandi mbadi ngamenol mbe programme banal le jang fo wati koteng ñun nom bi ngamin sotale kanana fere jang ntol Gambia fo ngake kilingolti Jeffrey Epstein wala ma toti alta alieo ikafate the filthy rich Jeffrey Epstein JEFFREYEPSTEIN alta alieo wala fimo jube wala lele documentary jube alkanyin Donald Trump wol min moy tenteng Prince Harry wol Donald Trump wol ning Bill Clinton wol be mu dindi marlaleti yeah, watch him on watch him on Netflix. He's in Netflix. Jeffrey Epstein, the filthy rich Jeffrey Epstein. I'll tell you fimo juberon. Modo lali respect. I'll nenete respect la kotenke. Dunia kono modo lebije. I'll come in respect ni etol for kalf. He o mobile. I'll nenete respect la. Will be pedophile uleti. Hani nying fenke alka nying min fango moy tentingi ka fa nyaadi le fang ika fu mi corona da tondi fang mi rita dunia beti mimba tondi minna muso ya bula science. What is the name the richest white guy ika fu min daba nying corona kono what is the name again? Can you help me with the name? Wol be mu pedophile uleti ila musol ke makoy ila musol ke makoy merita dunia beti ibem pedophile oleti ning ikafo minka miye corona findi dunia kono atola botan kon kolitio ning atola botan kon Bill Gates, thank you Esa App Cisse. Bill Gates will they are all pedophiles. Near Jeffrey Epstein la fimo jube jelte balu nako ñunu yara fam mo kurumbal le bantol buluja albe thank you awalema you albe dajolo fayla volcan so mbadingol Gambian kol Adama Barrow duka ngi dani sabari ñim pedophile yemi mbulatenti ya pardon go and get him from our streets Hannibal deport la from back to Norway go and thank you very much. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. God bless you too. God bless you too. Thank you very much, my brother. Born Africans. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Asman Toure. That's true, man, Osman. Even the pedophiles, you go to the Catholic Church, you will meet them there. These priests and these, hey, even in our society, some of these big Muslim leaders, you know, ala koy kakao boy Muslim leaders will kande, but astaghfirullah malembala, but ibigele they are there. So we have to break this silence and talk as Gambians. So I'm thanking everybody who took their time to share this video or record it to share it later to the people. I'm saying thank you to all. May Allah save the Gambia. May Allah protect us. May Allah cleanse our hearts to love each other as Gambians. Please, let's do something for Gambia. We are all talking on Facebook, attacking each other, insulting each other's elders, insulting each other's leaders. Yes, we are doing that. But let's do this one thing. Only this one thing. Can we just come together? We see no political party. We see no individual. Let's see Gambia and help Gambia. Can we form this platform, please? Let's join hands and open a platform that it is for Gambia and Gambian issues, no politics. We see how to move this country forward. Our politicians will not move our country because you know why? Our hearts are not clean. We don't love each other. Our country will never move forward. This is the hard fact. You want to hear it? Fine. You don't want to hear it? I don't care. But this is the hard fact. No matter which leader we gave our country to, whom, they will never take it anywhere. So long as we don't love each other and stop this hatred and stop belittling each other and stop calling each other's name, Manjago B, Jola B, Sose B, Mandinko B, Fulani B, Sarahule B, Batakalo B, Gambia will never go anywhere. We will be stuck in this thing forever. Our kids will come. This is when our grandparents, they pass it to our fathers. Our fathers pass it to their kids. It's higher. So we, the new generations, we have to change this mentality. We have to see us as Gambians. What is stated in our passport, let's move as that. What is stated in our ID cards, let's think like that. You know, Gambians, if they told me Gambians are very clever, I doubt it very much. We have a national anthem which has said everything about Gambianism. But we are not following what is in the national anthem for the Gambia, our homeland. We are not following the Foda Gambia, our homeland. We strive and work and pray, but we don't do that. We are hating on each other. They have to change this national anthem to divided for the divided Gambia. They have to name it. We are so divided. We are hating on each other. Somebody will talk, you don't even know him, you hate him for nothing. You start insulting. You start cursing their parents who has nothing to do with you. You know why? It's because of the hate. The hatred we have for each other. This trend will never stop. We are the younger generations. We have to come together and break the silence and stop this foolishness, calling each other names, calling each other who is a Gambian, who is not a Gambian. As long as we are all Gambians, let's join hands and give hands to each other and build our nation to move forward. No politician will do it for us. Because you know why? They are politicians, they can change, but they cannot change if we as Gambians don't change our attitude. If we as Gambians don't come together and put everything under the ground which our parents passed on us, we buried it under the ground. We see that we are the Gambians of the future. We are the younger generation. And we have to come together and see Gambia and nothing else and nobody else and no one else. When we don't do this, our country will never go forward. It's sad. We will be blaming every government we will come back here and blame them. It doesn't matter which government. Every government in Gambia, we will come back on these platforms and blame them. We are blaming ourselves. It's the same even to say this, but sometimes I sit here and think and think and think and think. I said, I'm calling on. What did I do? What did I do as a citizen of Gambia to help Gambia? What did I do what plans do I have as a Gambian to see all these problems just sorted out like that. It's not only the government, it's us as people. If we don't change how we are, our thinkings, our mentalities, we will not go. Today I saw one boy doing live, saying he's talking about the way Gambia is going. This is sad. He said he's talking about politics. He said he's talking about how Gambia is going. From nowhere, he calls a name and then insults, calling that person's mother's name. The mother doesn't do anything to you. The father doesn't do anything to you. That person himself doesn't do anything to you. You calling on his name, raining insults to his parents. They have nothing to do with your politic or his politic. His mother you are cursing has nothing to do with you. Why the hatred? Why the anger? Why the insults? Why? You can talk, say anything. And then you call yourself that you're supporting a political party. And you come to Facebook. You don't do anything. You don't think. You just call on somebody's name. This hurts me. That's why I'm saying it. Even though he said he belongs to my party. But it hurts me so much. I nearly cried. I cannot watch him. I was watching him on a window. I feel ashamed to even people to see me watching him. That's why I was watching on him on window. I didn't open his live. I was watching as window watcher. But this guy, I don't know which country he is. He's calling somebody's name, supporting Adama Barrow, and calling the name, the mother's name, calling the father, calling the mother, raining insult. For what reason? Is that going to change the Gambia? No. Is that going to take vote from Adama Barrow and give it to the party you are supporting? No. Insulting, raining insulting on that person is making people hating your party. It's making people running away from your party. That is so wrong of you. Really so wrong of you. You shouldn't do that. That's very bad. What you did. It is so bad. This is a characteristic of a Gambian. Because we don't think. How can you do that? How can you just have your internet on, you have your mobile on, charge it full, you come out here making yourself foolish, raining insult on somebody's mother because you are not supporting the same side with him? That is madness. Go and delete that video, my brother, please. Go and delete that video. That video is nonsensical. And you call yourself that you are supporting a particular political party. And you call somebody's mother who has nothing to do with you to insult his mother. For what reason? What has the mother do with you? What has the mother do with his political ambitions? Nothing. The mother is just sitting there. Don't know even what is politics. This is as Gambians. If we don't stop this, our country will never go. This is the hate I'm talking about. It's all about the hate I'm preaching here. We have to finish this hate between us. We have to love, embrace each other, accept each other. Gambia, we don't accept each other. That's why we won't go anywhere. We will stay where we are, no matter who is the president, no matter who we vote in for. We will be the same place because of the hatred. Because we are not each other's back keepers. We are each other's back destroyers. We destroy each other. How can you be mad, drink, eat until you are full? You come to Facebook insulting somebody's father, mother. They don't do anything to you. I don't know. The guy name was Lamin Konate or Lamin Conte. I don't know whether he's in Italy or Spain. He's causing Sidinjai's, calling Sidinjai's name and calling Sidinjai's mother and raining insult on Sidinjai. This is wrong. We have to say it. Lamin Conte, I think it's Lamin Conte or Konate. I forgot the name because I was watching on a window. As a UDP supporter, I don't disagree that you love UDP. I disagree that you are supporting UDP. You are not supporting UDP. You are not doing good for UDP. That is wrong. You should not do that. We condemn it. I condemn it. And I know the UDP executive condemn it. And I know the UDP body condemn it. Every member of UDP condemn it. What you did today is totally nonsense. It's totally rudeness. How could you just be sick? It makes me sick. That's why I'm talking about it. This is not the topic here. But this make me sick and tired what you did. Sidin Jai is a Gambian as you. He has the right to support any party he wants to support. He just don't have a say. He don't have a say to talk about something else. Because Naka Malunung atadiyamula. But that doesn't give you a license to call his parent who don't do nothing to you, raining insult on them. His mother don't do anything to you. You don't even know the mother. You don't know even who is the mother. You are insulting the mother. You don't even know the mother. You are insulting the mother. Why? Why are you doing that? Why were you doing that? Go and delete Lamin Konte or Korade. Go and delete that video. It was totally nonsense. Totally nonsense. Sidin Jai mother doesn't do anything to you. The father did anything to you. Nothing. Even Sidin Jai himself done nothing wrong to you. Even himself has done nothing to you. But if you will insult him, we will give you that for politic gain. Insult him himself. He has parts, body parts. Insult those parts. But not the mother. The mother doesn't do anything. You are proud saying, Italafo. Italafo. For what reason you are for? The mother doesn't tell you anything. Ito ko Muslim olti, ito ko ka salile. Ala mine fo nendir lala minka mol bal ning. Ala mine fo. Ito ko ka salile. Ito la salo buka muta. Ito man ke Muslimeti. For God's sake, man, I will stop here. Ala baraka bake. Ala man tankala seitano la. Ala man tankala seitano mola. Ala ma ala yang hakilol ke kilingoti as Gambians. Nga nyo kanu nga Gambian afi nang nga Gambia ke kilingoti. Mbida na lejan ne fo wati koteng ala baraka bake. Ntalam shoti jami Sweden. Bye bye. Ciao.